Dolphins Patriots. Yikes. Okay, this one's tough.
I
This is a
like that
tough
we
game.
both had the same reaction. Like,
Divisional matchup though, so it means a lot. There's a lot of pride on the line. Somebody's got to win this football game unless they tie, which Lord, I hope that does
oh
not
my
happen.
God. Please. No, are you kidding? I root for chaos every single time. Give me a tie. Give me a tie. It
No,
doesn't matter. It
gosh,
can be the
I
bottom of the
I
AFC.
can't do it. I can't do it with
Oh,
ties. I would rather go to college football style of overtime than to see a tie at the NFL level. The wins just mean too much. But anyways, matchup that matters. Again, somebody's got to win this football
somebody's
game.
got to win this whole game.
Who's going to win it and how they're going to win it? Come on.
Snoop Huntley versus the Pat secondary, because Snoop Huntley has actually taken care of the football pretty well. He didn't have any interceptions last week. He has zero interceptions actually in three of his past four starts. So he is pretty good at that. And if this Pat secondary can pick the ball off, then that's really going to kind of just deflate the Dolphins offense in particular. I don't really like, I wanted to say like Tyreek Hill against the Pat secondary, but like I don't have faith that Tyreek Hill is going to get the ball in any meaningful fashion if it's, down the field or anything like that. I don't have the
Right.
faith in that. Pats have just one interception as a team, but they do have 14 forced incompletions, and that's tied for the 11th most. So I feel like between that, like they're kind of due for some of these incompletions to start turning into interceptions. But they also have allowed 101.5 passer rating, which is the 10th highest of any unit. So
Yeah.
I think it's the matchup that matters because it's like whoever this matchup favors is probably going to end up winning this game.
They might. Well, I'll get to this in a second. But my matchup that matters. I'm going to get into the trenches here.
Okay.
Patriots offensive line versus the Dolphins defensive line. Patriots offensive line, 53.5 overall blocking grade. That is dead last in the NFL. Dolphins defensive line, you would think that they'd be able to take advantage of it, but no Jalen Phillips now. He is once
Right.
again out for the year, suffered a knee injury last game, which sucks because he was just coming back from an
So
Achilles
sad.
tear as well. And he's
So
one of the
sad.
best young edge rushers in the game. Yeah, it really sucks. Pass rush grade and pass rush win percentage for the Dolphins. They're both right around the middle of the pack, right around the middle of the NFL. Calais Campbell and Zach Seifert or Seiler, excuse me. Those guys have the two highest pass rush grades of
Mhm.
anybody on the Dolphins. So in theory, the interior offensive line of the Dolphins is what's really struggling, really inconsistent. I guess that's a strength for the Dolphins is the matchup that matters. You could still win that one and really get quick pressure on the pocket in Jacoby Brissett if you're winning up front and in the middle. But it really is just sort of this. It, the Patriots offensive line just straight up has to play better, no matter what. And it's to the point where I think they would like to go to Drake May, but they can't because the offensive line is playing
Right.
so poorly. So
Right.
especially the interior of that offensive line, like I said, has been really inconsistent. The Dolphins' interior defensive line has the opportunity to really get after him in this game, even with the edge rushers not being so hot. Chalk Robinson's now going to have to play a bigger role as an edge rusher, but can he be more of a speed option that we saw at Penn State and have seen from him so far in Miami? And then just can the Patriots offensive line play better than dead last in the NFL? To me, that's a big time matchup that matters. But what's a plus factor here for you in this game?
Devon Achane is the plus factor. And it's not necessarily even for what he's doing on the ground. It's for the fact that he is a check down option for Snoop Huntley. He's the easy completion. He leads all running backs with 20 receptions for 187 receiving yards. And the Dolphins offense just hasn't been explosive gee, I wonder why. So this is one of those things where this is their only kind of opportunity to really move the ball down the field is to get those quick passes to Devon Achane. I don't necessarily, like you said, with all the issues that the Dolphins have on offensive line, I don't really trust them to get the run game going either. But this is again a way to kind of fake that and get your running backs the ball anyway. And that I feel like he's going to be the most important player to Snoop Huntley on this Dolphins offense, and he's the only one that really can propel this offense forward and keep the offense on the field.
You talked about wanting to sort of pick Tyreek Hill as like an X factor or a matchup that matters here for this game. I wonder if at this point in time, like they're just going to put Tyreek Hill in the backfield and almost just like give him swing
Yeah,
passes to just say
I like
get the ball in his hands somehow, some way. Because
somehow he's fast. He can
but
do it.
right, but well, because my plus factor in this game is Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Because holy cow, I thought the floor was a lot higher for him as a play caller, even with Tua hurt. Like I get, like it is not just something that I'm trying to sweep under the rug. That it's like, yeah, Tua's hurt, but the offense should still be good. I understand, especially with the offensive line the way that it's currently constructed. But holy cow, last year Dolphins offense, third in offensive grade, sixth in EPA per play. This year they are 30th in offensive grade and dead last in the NFL in EPA per play. Again, I thought Mike McDaniel's floor was a lot higher than dead last in the NFL when you've got weapons like Tyreek Hill, like Devon Achane, like Jalen Waddle, right? And so I think this might be a throw everything but the kitchen sink at the Patriots defense. Like, do absolutely everything you can to just get the ball in the hands of these playmakers. Like, it's not going to look traditional. It's not going to look like what it normally is. It just has to look completely different, and they've got to be able to get the ball in these playmakers' hands because they have completely failed at that to this point in time, while Tua Tagovailoa has not been in the lineup. So
dare I say that it's really like the most shocked I was after they gave Tua the money that they did not do anything along the offensive line, or I guess before, but like they did not bolster this offensive line at all. And that was such a huge issue for them last year. Health was a huge issue. You needed more depth as it was. And the Dolphins just didn't do anything along the offensive line. I was absolutely shocked because I'm like, all right, if you are planning on giving Tua this much money, and I realized that Tua's injury, his latest concussion, wasn't really affected by the offensive line. It was his own decision making. But you have to think that, again, this offense and the floor that you're talking about for Mike McDaniel is so much higher if they are able to run the ball, if they are able to protect. This is a complete failure, I think, from a team building perspective by the Dolphins not bolstering the offensive line and investing in something that was going to protect your other investments.
Graham Barton was on the board when they picked Shot Robinson, and I was shocked that they did not pick him on draft night. This is not like revisionist history. I was shocked when that did not happen for them, and I remain shocked, and it continues to be an issue for them. So I think we've got to see the most creative that Mike McDaniel has been yet this season to get his playmakers the ball, because if we don't see that, oh man, it's going to get ugly throughout the rest of the season, especially if there is any sort of uncertainty about Tua being able to come back after his time on IR is done.